Welcome back, Flight Simulator. We are here with the Flybywire Airbus 320. We are flying into San Francisco today, and we are going to do an auto landing tutorial. So I'm going to get this set up. So let's see. And I apologize. Let's go in here. All of this should be off. ATC voice is off. That way you guys aren't getting buzzed by that. So we got this. Everything's good to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and first things first, let's make this weather pretty nasty. So we're going to come in here, go from clear skies, let's go to thunderstorms. Let's take this cloud layer on down, bring up our clouds, density, scatter. Yeah, let's make this a nasty storm. There we go. Turn our brightness down here. Perfect. So here we are, we're floating in. The first thing we want to do, we want to open up our map. So open up your map. You want to come up to the airport you're landing at. For us, San Francisco here. We're going to be flying into 28 right. So if we scroll down the page to ILS, you see runway 28 right here and its frequency, 111.7. So what we want to do is come down here to our computer. We want to go to our navigation. We want to type in the LS frequency, 111.7. Punch that in there. There we go. So now when we hit our LS tab, we are en route here. You see a localizer, 111.7, 25 miles out. And we have a hitting bug over here, so it shows that we're a little bit to the left. And we're probably high, so we're going to level off this plane, start decreasing our altitude a little bit. We can go ahead and take our selector mode here and move it all the way to the left to LS. We can get our localizer there, and I'm going to turn the brightness down a little easier to see there. Perfect. We're going to fly to the left here, and there we go. And back to the left a little more. Get lined back up. Don't have to be perfect, but a good rough lineup is good for this thing. Right in there. Perfect. Turn this hitting bug down to right there. We are a little ways out, a little high probably. We're going to drop our altitude down here to about 4,000 feet if we can. See, we got a awful headwind coming through, so that's actually going to make our landing nice. We don't have to be as high on our speed. And there's our altitude bug right there. So, because we have our localizer engaged, we are locked with a hitting bug and altitude bug. We're going to go ahead and turn our autopilot 1 on. We're going to go ahead and auto thrust. And now that we got our localizer locked, let's go ahead and hit our approach button. That'll control the plane on this localizer. As we get localized here, there's that. And we also want to engage autopilot 2. So we have autopilot 1 and 2 engaged. And as you can see here, we have autopilot 1 and 2. It's on auto thrust. We have our glide slope locked. There it is. And localizer right there. So glide slope is locked in place. Localizer is locked. And we're coming in. We're down to 200 knots. Let's go ahead and give us flaps 1. Put our flaps down, so there they go. We're 18 miles out. The plane is lining itself up, as you can see. We can't see anything, but the plane is using its instrument landing system to lock in place here and follow this in. So there we go. Glide slope localizer. We're on a Cat 1 right now. That is what it's locked on. There's Cat 3 single, Cat 3 dual. That's what we want. Cat 3 dual. As long as we have that, we're good to land. Go ahead and give us flaps 2 here. We're going to do a full flaps 3 landing. So flaps 2. There it is. I'll put the landing gear down. It's a little early, but the landing gear is down. We're about 16 miles out here. Plane is coming in. Nasty, nasty storm. Let's go ahead and do flaps 3. As you can see, we have a little bit of a crab angle here due to the fact that we have wind coming in at 43 knots, which is an awful lot of wind. See, our airspeed is 140, but our ground speed is 105, which is going to make stopping very easy, but this weather is pretty nasty. Let's go ahead and arm the speed brake lever. We know our braking potential on this runway right now is poor, so we're going to use auto braking low. We have a long runway, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Let's go ahead and drop flaps to full. Flaps full, it doesn't look like the autopilot is going to be applying proper thrust here. So as you can see, the autopilot did not do the thrust properly. So we have an alpha floor protection, which is not what we want that to do, but we'll try to keep us on a glide slope here. Let's turn auto thrust off. Turn autopilot on. Approach on, autopilot 2 on. Let's manually control our speed from here on out. So we want 140 knots. So in case of an error, we can recover. 140 knots. In our control. There we go. We're still 11 miles out, so we still have plenty of room left here to get stabilized. Remember, you can always go around if needed. No questions asked. So, as you can see, the plane back on track here. Glide slope, localizer, Cat3 Dual, braking low. Throttle's coming back to 140. Everything's looking good. Nice and smooth here. Nice and smooth. We got flaps full. Everything's pretty much set up now. Now it's just a monitoring scenario. So because we have such a headwind, if that changes, our airspeed is actually going to drop dramatically. So we're going to increase our actual airspeed up to 150 here.
2,500.
Our airspeed will be higher, but our ground speed will be lower. Because we're getting such a headwind, we're getting quite a fluctuation, as you can see down here. On our speed, it's going up and down quite a lot. Still 8 miles out. As we get closer, we can retard that throttle back slightly and come in for a nice landing here. Go to our status page. We have normal operations, no problems there. Nothing. Looks like we have an issue there. So good. Let's ding the flight attendants. Let them know. Turn our wipers on as we get closer. Signs are on. And here we go. We're about 7 miles out now. Go to the outside of the plane. We can see we are set up. We are in our full configuration. It's quite a nasty weather scenario. We cannot see anything. Plane is coming in. 6 miles out, 1,400 feet above the ground. And our wind direction is changing ever so slightly. Let's go ahead and reduce our airspeed back to 140 now. You can see we're not getting as much of a headwind. It's changing a lot, so. $1,000 feet here. Plane is doing its absolute best to keep us on course here. As you can see, I am not having to do any manual controls. My controls right here, holding them stable, but no controls needed. We are 500 feet off the ground now, coming in, a little shaky. But I still cannot see a thing. Up there's some water coming into view.
400.
I can see some runway lights. That looks like 28 left there. Landing lights for 28 left. There's landing lights for 28 right. So for Cat3 Dual, we do not have to have hardly any visibility other than runway lights as long as we can see those. So be prepared here. Let's go ahead and retard our speed back to 130. Be prepared for our landing, which is right here. We don't have to touch anything.
40.
We'll just retard the throttle.
30, 20. 10. Retard.
There's our landing. We retarded the throttle. Full reversers on. And we're at 60 and 40 knots. Let's go ahead and take our reversers off there, and we will evacuate this runway. That's pretty much our auto landing here. Autopilot off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll try to keep making videos like this. Some fun, little bit of educational videos about the A320. If you like the video, subscribe, comment on it, and I'll see you in the next one.